My name is Luis Puig. I was born in Mexico City 33 years ago. I've been living in Australia for 10 years now, so I'm 1/3 Australian, 2/3 Mexican. That's how I like to consider myself. Day of the Dead is a Mexican tradition that it's been going on for over 3,000 years. There's evidence of the Aztecs celebrating this day. And it's all about celebrating all the people that have passed away, all the loved ones. And it's just more than a celebration. It's a ritual. It's not when we say celebration. Sometimes we think it's a big party, but more than that, it's just actually taking a few steps back and actually thinking about those people that we love and they left us. So I do think that these type of celebrations bring the topic of death into the culture. So the culture is actually talking about it, or seeing things on TV, and it's just part of the conversation. In other cultures, death is just something that comes and you do the funeral, and after that you just go back to the graves once a year to say hello to these people. But because in Mexico this celebration is there, it's just changing it's changed the whole dynamics of the way people see death. We are more familiar with it, we talk about it, and instead of seeing that it's as something scary that death is going to come and get you, it just encourages you to live your life in a better way. I remember celebrating this since I was a little kid. I remember my mom every year setting up these offerings, putting photos of my grandfather or other relatives, all the flowers, all the candles. So since I was a child, I remember being part of this celebration. And these traditions, it's the only way you can pass them on is by actually exercising them and making sure that you explain the meaning to the people that is around you, so they can understand it, and then eventually it just keeps passing on. And that's what traditions are all about. It's part of the culture. It's an opportunity that the whole country takes to actually reassess what they're doing with their lives, knowing that death can come anytime. So it helps you think about it, because it's always in the back of your head and thinking, I really should be doing something better or doing things better. Because when I die, and there's no way out, and we're all going to die eventually. On the 1st of November, we first celebrate all the children that have passed away. We call it the Day of the Innocent Ones, which is basically all the little kids that have left us. And then on the second is for everyone else. One of the big elements of this tradition is having these skeletons showcasing the god of death. So you have to have these elements on the offerings, as part of the offerings. So you can just go to the markets and buy a locally made skeleton figurine, or some people go and make their own. And it's a good excuse to get all the kids together and show them how to make them. So it's just one of those art crafts that they're pretty simple to do, but it brings people together. And I've decided to make my own for the first time in my life. So the only reason I'm doing it is because I've seen them before, that like the really big ones, they're just full of colors, and it just speaks for themselves. Like when you look at one of those skeletons, you can see the whole country behind it, because they are meant to represent all the different colors, all the different elements of our society. So I've decided to make one, and it's pretty straightforward. You use pretty simple techniques, paper mache. You use flour, water, newspaper, and a lot of color. One important thing to highlight is this is not a religious tradition, because if we look back in time, the tradition started back when the pre-Hispanic cultures were down in Mexico, and there was no sense of religion. It was more God shipping all the basically making all the prayers to all the different gods, the god of the rain, the god of the sun. But it wasn't until the 1500s when the Spanish came into America and they introduced religion. So there's evidence that Day of the Dead is pretty much it's just a celebration. So there's no connotations of any other religions. Since I've been here the last 10 years, I've lost a lot of people. So for me, the Day of the Day is the time that I use to actually, think about them. So it's a ritual that we use for closure.